Welcome to this exciting video where we reveal the top 2 most valuable Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel coins that every collector hopes to find. These nickels may look simple, but rare minting errors and limited production have transformed a couple of them into prized treasures worth thousands of dollars. Let's get started. First up, the 1990 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. Even though it's a common circulation coin, its design, history, and condition make it worth exploring for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Welcome to this deep dive into a coin that has traveled through hands, pockets, and years, collecting stories while losing none of its classic charm. A circulated 1990 nickel may not sparkle like a fresh mint piece, but its worn appearance adds character and authenticity. The absence of a mint mark means this nickel was minted in Philadelphia. During 1990, Philadelphia-issued nickels did not carry the P mint mark, making this detail completely normal for the coin, yet still interesting for viewers who collect by mint origin. As we begin looking at the obverse side, we see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Even in circulated condition, his profile remains bold and recognizable. The years of circulation add a soft texture to Jefferson's portrait. The high points of the design, like his cheekbone and hair curls, show gentle smoothing from decades of handling, telling the story of a coin that has truly been used. Above Jefferson's head, the word Liberty remains visible, though slightly worn. The edges of the letters may show faint fading, but that's expected with a coin that has been in pockets for more than 30 years. Beside the inscription, the date, 1990, appears clearly, though with slight dullness from contact with other coins. Its visibility is important for collectors identifying year-specific pieces. The coin's rim shows moderate wear, especially around areas where it may have rubbed repeatedly against other nickels in circulation. This natural wear pattern adds authenticity and reminds us of the coin's journey. As we turn the nickel over, the famous Monticello building takes center stage on the reverse. This depiction of Jefferson's home has been part of the nickel's design for decades and remains one of the most recognized reverse designs in U.S. coinage. In circulated condition, parts of Monticello may appear soft or flat. The building's pillars, steps, and rooftop lines may show light blending, but the iconic structure is still easy to identify. The word Monticello remains below the building, though depending on the wear level, some letters may appear slightly thinner or less defined. Still, the inscription is readable and anchors the reverse design. Above Monticello, the phrase E pluribus unum stretches across the top. Some letters might show light flattening, but the phrase remains intact, symbolizing unity and identity. Below the building, the denomination 5 cents remains visible. On circulated coins, this line often shows medium wear, but its presence is still strong enough for recognition. At the bottom, the words United States of America wrap neatly along the lower curve of the coin. Even in circulated condition, these letters typically remain readable, though softened in places. The coin's fields, the flat areas around the design, display small nicks, scratches, and contact marks, all typical signs of everyday use. These textures reflect the coin's journey through markets, homes, vending machines, and pockets. Circulated condition also means the nickel has lost some of its original shine, replaced with a muted gray tone that collectors and numismatists recognize instantly. This aged color brings its own sense of authenticity. Holding this 1990 Jefferson nickel, you can feel the smoothness developed from years of circulation. Many collectors enjoy this tactile quality because it represents a coin that has lived a full life. Nickels from 1990 are part of the long-running Jefferson series introduced in 1938. The classic design remained largely unchanged until the early 2000s, making this coin part of a long-standing American tradition in coinage. Because this coin lacks the P mint mark, some beginners assume it might be rare, but in reality, all Philadelphia nickels that year were minted without a mint mark. This makes it normal but still interesting from a historical perspective. The metal composition of the coin, 75% copper and 25% nickel, gives it strength and durability. Even after decades, the coin holds its structure well, resisting corrosion better than some other denominations. Circulated condition nickels like this often make great starter pieces for new collectors. They are affordable, easy to find, and full of opportunities for learning about minting, grading, and design features. For seasoned collectors, this coin can still hold sentimental or nostalgic value. Some may remember seeing these nickels in their change during the 1990s or early 2000s, tying memories to the coin. When angled under light, the coin reveals subtle shadows across Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's structure. These small reflections hint at the original details that were once sharper when the coin was new. Despite its wear, the coin remains structurally sound. It still bears all the primary design elements, demonstrating the impressive durability of the Jefferson nickel design. The edge of the coin is smooth and plain, as all nickels are. Over time, the edges may show tiny dents from use, but this adds to the coin's character. Looking closely, you might notice tiny surface marks from drops, slides, and countless exchanges. Each mark is a reminder of the coin's role in everyday commerce. This 1990 nickel without a mint mark may not be rare, but it still captures a moment in American monetary history, representing everyday economic activity from 3 decades ago. Collectors who enjoy building date runs or mint collections appreciate coins like this because they complete important year slots, even in circulated condition. Even though it's not a high-value coin, it carries educational value, teaching new collectors about mint marks, design history, and where patterns often starts with coins just like this one. The combination of Jefferson's profile and the Monticello design creates a classic aesthetic that has remained beloved by generations of Americans and collectors worldwide. As we reflect on this nickel, we're reminded that even common coins have stories worth telling. Circulated coins especially hold a shared history that connects people through decades of use. Whether you're collecting for fun, for knowledge, or for nostalgia, this 1990 Jefferson nickel contributes meaningfully to any collection, adding depth through its wear and age. Thank you for exploring this 1990 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with me today. Coins like this may be small, but they carry big stories, and I'm excited to keep sharing them with you in future videos. Next up, the Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1992, a coin without a D mint mark and found today in circulated condition. This is a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but once we start uncovering its details, history, and design, you'll see why even a common nickel can hold a meaningful place in any collection. Welcome to a closer look at a coin that many people have handled without realizing its significance. The 1992 Jefferson nickel without a D mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, which, just like in other years, did not include a mint mark on its nickels at that time, making this detail both normal and an important part of its identity. Welcome to an exploration of the obverse side, where the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson stands strong even after years of circulation. His features remain bold, though softened by time, with a familiar forward-facing profile that collectors have recognized since the design's introduction in 1938. As we examine Jefferson's portrait more deeply, we can see gentle wear on the high points, the hair curls, the cheek, and the jawline. These areas tend to show the earliest signs of circulation, adding a smooth, aged texture that reflects decades of handling. The inscription, "In God We Trust," still sits proudly on the left side of the obverse. Although the letters may be slightly flattened from wear, the phrase remains clear enough to read and contributes to the coin's classic appearance. Just to the right, we see the word "Liberty," followed by a star and the date, 1992. These elements often show moderate wear on circulated coins, but even with slight fading, they remain visible and essential for identifying the coin's year of issue. The rim of the coin, while still intact, may show signs of softening. Circulated nickels often develop rounded edges as the crispness of the original strike gradually wears down, creating a smoother, more traveled look. As we flip the coin to its reverse side, the historic Monticello takes center stage. This depiction of Jefferson's Virginia home, designed by Felix Schlag, continues to shine as an iconic symbol of American architecture and heritage. In circulated condition, Monticello's details can appear softened or flattened. The steps, pillars, and window frames may not be as sharp as they once were, but the structure remains easily recognizable, reminding us of its long-standing place on U.S. coinage. Above the building, E pluribus unum arches across the top of the reverse. Some letters may show gentle wear, but the phrase remains readable and continues to convey its message of unity among many states. Below Monticello, the name of the structure, Monticello, is stamped clearly, although wear may have reduced the sharpness of the lettering. Even so, the word maintains its place as a core part of the design. The denomination, 5 cents, sits just beneath, and even in circulated condition, this text usually holds up well. It's an essential identifying feature and one of the parts collectors look for when grading overall wear. At the bottom, the curve of the coin carries the inscription, United States of America. Although softened with age, this phrase remains visible and frames the bottom of the reverse side nicely. Circulated condition also means the coin has accumulated contact marks from years of use. These small scratches, nicks, and scuffs give the coin a textured appearance that tells the story of its long journey through pockets, wallets, and hands. One of the most noticeable characteristics of a circulated nickel is its color. No longer bright and shiny, the 1992 nickel takes on a muted silver-gray tone, a common hallmark of well-traveled coins. The fields of the coin, the flat surfaces surrounding the design, may show various small marks and evidence of friction. These areas often reveal the most about how heavily the coin was used over time. While this 1992 nickel without a D mint mark is not rare, it offers an excellent opportunity for new collectors to study wear patterns, strike characteristics, and design elements up close. The metal composition of the coin, 75% copper and 25% nickel, ensures durability, which is why even after more than 3 decades of circulation, the coin still retains much of its integrity and design. Collectors often appreciate circulated coins like this because they embody real history. Every mark tells a story, and every worn edge reflects countless exchanges, small transactions that helped shape everyday American life. Whether you collect nickels by date, by mint, or by overall condition, the 1992 coin holds a place in the long-running Jefferson nickel series, making it an essential piece of the broader set. If you angle the coin under light, you may see faint shadows revealing remaining details of Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building. These small reflections show that even well-worn coins still possess character. For many viewers, coins like this carry nostalgia. Anyone who grew up in the 1990s may remember seeing this very design in pocket change throughout childhood and into the early 2000s. Another interesting feature of this year is the absence of the P mint mark, something that began appearing on most coins in later years. In 1992, however, Philadelphia nickels were still minted without it, making the blank space historically accurate. The plain edge of the nickel remains consistent with its design. Over the years, small dings may have appeared along the edge, but they don't detract from the overall condition of the coin. While this coin may not stand out for rarity or high value, it shines from an educational perspective. New collectors often use coins like this to practice identifying grades, strike types, and mint origins. Holding this circulated nickel allows you to appreciate the durability of U.S. coinage. Despite decades of use, the details remain mostly visible, and the coin continues to serve both practical and collector purposes. The Jefferson nickel series is a beloved part of American coin history, and pieces from the 1990s form a bridge between earlier classic designs and modern modifications introduced in the 21st century. As you study the reverse design, the elegance of Monticello stands out. Even softened by age, the building conveys a sense of stability, consistency, and enduring architectural beauty. For collectors, this coin serves as a reminder that not every collectible needs to be rare to be meaningful. Sometimes, it's the story a coin carries that gives it value beyond money. This circulated 1992 nickel has passed through the hands of countless individuals, witnessing purchases, savings, exchanges, and small everyday moments that most people never think twice about. Coins like this offer an invitation to slow down and notice the beauty in everyday objects. Even a common nickel has a story that reaches far beyond its face value. Thank you for joining me in this detailed exploration of the 1992 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel without a D mint mark. I hope you enjoyed learning about its design, history, and character as much as I enjoyed sharing it. And stay tuned for more videos where we dive into coins from around the world, uncovering the hidden stories behind even the simplest pieces of pocket change.